So, exactly 9 days ago, Capcom released one of the most underrated, and I mean underrated, yet solid action RPGs out of the vault again onto the current gen consoles. That game I'm talking about? None other than Dragon's Dogma. I'd personally say it's a bit of a cult classic in my opinion, but Dragon's Dogma is the full package. It has great storyline, diverse NPCs, a large variety of skills, classes, items to collect and craft. Plus, you got your nice assortment of monsters from the puny ones you laugh at as they cower in fear of your superior intellect to massive beasts who literally can destroy your very soul in a matter of seconds. So if you're looking for a solid RPG to play, definitely give this one a shot. Now, the story of Dragon's Dogma starts off with your character brazenly fighting against the dragon to defend your village. Now, if you know anything about dragons, you know damn well your ass gets kicked. Then, to add salt to the wound, not only does your ass get kicked, but then the dragon rips out your heart and eats it. Yes, that big, bad red dragon eats your heart and then tells you to get stronger to come back and get it. Who does that? And that's how your adventure begins. Now, the game itself is really as short or as long as you want it to be. As with RPGs, there's side quests and other things that you can do. But if you really just want to focus on banging out the story, you can knock out the game, I guess, I'd probably say in about 15 to 20 hours. But if you want to do everything, it can easily put into around the 50 to 60-hour mark. Now, I would definitely say take your time with the game as the story is amazing and it's packed with a lot of memorable moments and also some amazing cutscenes. Now, of course, the action is going to be the focal point of the game, or else it wouldn't be an action RPG. Though combat in the game is simple, it does have its fair share of complexities and nuances within it, as fighting in general can be a bit boring, but when you start to learn tactics on how to best your enemies, it becomes truly rewarding. So make sure you use them. And like in the beginning, you're gonna come across the goblins. The goblins can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but once the tactics, like I mentioned earlier, come into play, such as using fire or ice, they become cake. They're easy, simple, no need to worry about them. And the system of knowledge via battle isn't something that's new to RPGs, as a lot of RPGs utilize the system of this is weak to that, but strong against this, etc. I mean, Pokemon does it with the fire, water, grass. So, really, it's the more you fight, the more you learn. Just like in real life, the more you learn, the better you become. Dragon's Dogma does that. And so do the enemies to a degree, and so do your companions. Now, as you traverse the open world, the enemies do start off simple. You have humans, goblins, wolves, and harpies, and they pose some challenge as you start to come across them for the first time. However, they're nothing compared to those monsters that come out at night, or even the massive beasts such as griffins, chimeras, drakes, golems, cyclops, dragons, and then those dwelling in the actual end game, which make combat not only just intense, but in some cases downright terrifying. The one thing I love so much about fighting the massive beasts is the fact that you get a combination of Monster Hunter and Shadow of Colossus mixed in. As larger beasts, you have to at times to get certain loot destroy body parts. So a Cyclops to get their tusks, you obviously have to destroy the tusks. And then if you're not playing as ranged, because I play as an archer most of the time in games, you need to actually climb and scale that monster to attack that specific area to break them, which is where the Shadow of Colossus aspect comes into play. Now, other factors to keep in mind when you're out in the field would be your health, your stamina, status effects, and inventory. Now, though it's best to pick up everything, and I mean everything, just make sure you properly manage your weight, or else you'll find yourself in dire straits because you used up all your stamina too fast. So don't hesitate to drop yourself off on your pawns and your party to keep you in the light to very light range for optimal mobility. Now, you're probably trying to figure out what a pawn is. It sounds like a piece of chess. They kind of are in a sense, like they would be the chess pieces that are actually pawns. They start off weak, but as they go progress, they can become extremely powerful, and that's exactly how they are. In this game, pawns are living AI companions. They learn with you in battle. They can also learn outside of being around you, as they can be hired by other players across the world and gain more knowledge against all types of beasts and even better understanding for questing as well. So they're also really good pack mules. So just make sure to keep them updated with gear because, of course, nobody wants to have a weak companion. And let it rip. Now, there are a lot of other things I could ramble on about, but I'm trying to keep this short to the point and really just say, all in all, Dragon's Dogma is definitely a game that will be a hit or miss for some people, and that's to be expected. Though I will say, if you do like Monster Hunter and you're not playing it on the 3DS because you don't have one, I would definitely pick up this game. And if you like Shadow of Colossus and you don't have a PS4 to get the remaster that's coming out, I would also definitely get this game. And then if you just like RPGs in general, I would highly suggest you to give this one a shot, as I don't think you'd be sorely disappointed. Plus, it'll definitely hold you over for a good while up until Monster Hunter and Shadow of Colossus both release sometime next year. So, with that said, my name's Fate of the Birdie Boys. Thanks for checking out the video. Later.
Audio Jungle.